Hello, hello, and welcome to this week's Goddess Energy Forecast. This is your girl, Abigail Mensah-Bonsu, founder of the Moon Goddess Academy and Moon Goddess Publishing. First of all, I wanted to say thank you so much for your patience. Last week, I got the guidance to just sit back and kind of recalibrate and come back to self, reconnect to myself. And it was exactly what I needed. So thank you for your patience. And although you didn't receive a forecast for last week, I hope you were still able to use the tools that I've taught you this far to connect to the energies that are wanting to co-create with you. So hopefully you were able to tune into, I feel like last week was a bit intense, especially in the emotional realm because of the full moon in Capricorn and bringing in the energy of Pluto. So if you follow me on social media, I talked a little bit about this. So there was an intensity with this full moon. So if you found yourself feeling more emotional or things were like popping out at you, you weren't alone. But I hope you were able to really harness the opportunities and the invitation that came through this full moon, which is bringing through the big stuff so that you can let it go and make space for something better. So hopefully you were able to do that. So this week's energy, we're just moving away from that full moon, intense full moon energy. And the other thing I want to say, hopefully you were able to see it rise. It was massive. It was huge. And, my husband was telling me that this was one of the biggest full moons we've had for years. It was big. It was so beautiful too. So with that, capacity, you can only imagine how intense that pool was, right? With water. And water represents our emotions, our hearts, our relationship. Only makes sense that these areas of our lives will be highlighted, right? So this week, I feel like we're settling. It's like the dust is settling, right? Things were kicked up so that we can see clearly what is no longer working, and we can release that to make space for whatever it is that we want to truly call in. And so for me, last week I found myself asking a lot of questions. What kind of life do I want to create? What kind of business do I want to create? What kind of life do I want to create with my son and my family? And my husband and I did visioning together, and we continue to do that. But a lot we were able to release so that we'll be able to see clearly what it is that we want to experience and create and become who we want to become, right? And so this week is kind of it's like after after my throat was like there's some truth there. So after you have released, after it's kind of like when you do detox, right? After you're done with the detox, what do? You replenish your body, right? Whether you use, bone broth or green smoothie, you replenish your body again. So this week is about the dust settling. And now that you can see clearly, now that you've made space for what you truly desire to come through, and perhaps you're not even conscious of the gifts that are coming through for you, but you've made space for it. So this week, you're going to be receiving those replenishments that support the gifts and the blessings and allowing it. So this week, you're going to be receiving that, but also allowing it to settle. So integration, right? Embodiment. So pay attention to the gifts that come to you. Pay attention to the blessings that drop in your life, right? And really take hold, like grab it with gratitude. Place it within your heart and feel it through your entire body. Allow your body to experience the joy and the celebration of you receiving that blessing or that gift. This week, I'm really feeling it is about that. And it's very interesting if you need help with this energy of receiving, because I know many of you, I was the same way. It's so comfortable. Many of you are comfortable giving than receiving, right? And that's how society kind of trained us, right? Just give, 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 give. But do you allow yourself to receive? Because it doesn't matter how much gifts will drop into your world. If you do not receive, it's just hanging around, right? And eventually it will go somewhere else. And so are you allowing yourself to receive? I'm going to be bringing in the energy of the elemental forces to come in to help you with this week in terms of, and this message came through, perhaps some of you, you're still releasing. That's okay. Again, that was a very powerful full moon in Capricorn, right? So you might still be releasing. Let it go. Continue doing that. But remember this, as you release, you can also simultaneously receive. It's not like you have to finish releasing and then receive, right? In some cases, maybe that's what you need to do, because what you're releasing is so rooted, deeply rooted within you, or bigger, right? In that case, you need to completely remove that, rinse out whatever's left over, just kind of be with that space of emptiness, right? That void, really thinking into, oh my gosh, I can't believe this thing like held that much space within me or within my life. And then through that, begin to call in, okay, now that I don't want, and now that this is not in my life or in my world anymore, this is what I want. Calling this into my mind, my body, my heart, and my spirit, in my world, into all that I am. I fully embody this, right? So as you are releasing, you're making space for that which is for your highest and greatest good, that which is in alignment with you, that which ignites you, brings you more joy than you can imagine to come in. But you have to be willing to receive. You have to be willing to receive. So we're really going to bring in the energy of nature to support all of you. And if you already know how to receive, you're going to be just stepping into the next level of receiving. If receiving is a hard topic for you, then this will be a great opportunity to learn from nature how to receive and why you need to allow yourself to receive. Imagine 2 cups, right? Both of them have water in there, or let's say your favorite drink, right? And but each cup, you pour some in here, and then you pour some back, and then you pour some, and then you pour some back. If you keep doing that, both cups are going to be full. They're going to be good. They're not going to be empty. But if you pour this in there, and then it tries to pour, and you're like, no, I'm good. You keep that. And then you pour. Eventually, your cup is going to end up empty. And then you're going to keep trying to pour even from that empty cup. You cannot be of greater service when you're running empty. And how we replenish ourselves is with our connection. Our superior replenishment is with our connection with Gaia, with Mother Earth, and with the divine. But really, it's Mother Earth, right? Because Mother Earth is able to fill our cups both spiritually and also physically by ingesting its harvest, the food that we get to enjoy every day. So we're really bringing in this wisdom from nature. Are you ready? So I want to hear from you. Are you someone who is struggling with receiving? Or are you someone who has a balance with receiving? Which one are you? And if you're anywhere in between, share where you are, okay? Because this support is gonna support you wherever you are to move you to that next level. So it doesn't matter if you're like, I feel like I'm just horrible at receiving, or I'm just beginning to learn to receive, or open up to receive, or I found my flow with receiving. You will still receive the support that you need, so you can receive even more than you can ever imagine. So you can be of greater service to you, your world, and the world outside, right? So when you're ready, taking a deep breath in, Close your eyes, drop your awareness into your heart, and begin to breathe into your heart. And imagine a ball of light within your heart. And as you breathe, when you breathe in, it expands. When you breathe out, it contracts. When you breathe in, it expands. And when you exhale, it contracts. And each time you breathe in, this ball of light gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And when it contracts, it just contracts a little bit, right? It's the ebb and flow, so that we're in balance with the energies outside of us too. As we release, we receive. As we receive, we release, right? It's this infinite loop. So really connect to that flow, that ebb and flow within your breath, within your heart. From here, go ahead and call in your higher self to come into your heart. Call in your divine team or your divine posse to come in and surround you. And really open up to receiving your love and support all around you and within your heart. And now open up to receive the beautiful light, that golden light from above, from the heart of the source. And let it just flow into you, anchor into your heart, and then continue through you, coming out of your feet, creating these golden or crystalline root that extends deep into the earth and spreads out, just sharing your light with the earth. And do the same thing. Open up to receive that beautiful crystalline light from the Divine Mother through your roots. Breathe it in, bring it up into your body, anchor it into your heart. Allow it to continue up and let it spread out all around you. And then bring your attention back into your heart where all three lights reside. See them come together into one crystalline ball of light, very powerful, magnetic. And using your breath, infuse it with even more power until it explodes out and create a magnificent crystalline bubble of light all around you. Really surrender into this support that is all around you, this love that is all around you and within you as well. And from this place, go ahead and ask, which elemental force is here to support me this week? Which elemental force is here to support me this week? 1, 2, or 3. And once you have received your number or numbers, go ahead and take in a deep breath in. Let it sit. Open your eyes, ready to receive your message. All right, so if you received 1, this week you're working with the element of spirit. So you're going to be working with spirit, and the card is as above, so below. And I love this card so much because I feel like that's what we kind of did with the meditation that we just did, right? Getting our inner world nicely and aligned and amplified so that we can reflect that into the outer world. So here's your message for this week. If you received this spirit card, which is about us above, so below. We can learn much about our lives by observing the dance of the cosmos. The movement of the sun and moon teaches us about the active and receptive principles at play in our world. And there is much to comprehend about the rich principles of the planets, constellations, and asteroids. If we attune to the great mystery from an archetypal perspective, we can discover much about ourselves. So what message this week is Spirit bringing you about the us above, so below mysteries? This is what you're being invited to open up to receive this week. What message is Spirit bringing you about the us above, so below mysteries? There you go. If you receive 2, you are working with the element of fire. And for you, this week is all about transformation. So transforming your capacity to receive, right? So let's see what the message says with this one. Fire is the deep transformer. It changes the properties of substances as its heat alters them. Fire reduces earthly property to ash. The ash becomes the soil for new growth. Transformation means to literally change form. The heat of fire to alter the raw ingredients of cooking into something delicious is one of the transformative powers of fire. Applied to life, it takes a great deal of trust to allow the transformative power of fire to take place. So here's your invitation this week. What is fire's teaching of transformation for you? What is fire's teaching of transformation for you? Go ahead and make sure you open up this week to receive this support from fire. All right. If you receive 3, you are working with the element of water. And this card says the power of love. The power of love. And here's what it says. Love is a force and a tremendous power. Water teaches us the power of nourishment. Love applied to your relationships, children, business, and to yourself deeply nourishes and provides the element needed for growth. So for you, it is pretty clear this week, right? Okay. There's like other things coming in. But if you receive this card, we're talking about nourishment here. We're talking about growth. We're talking about your body, your relationships. But what is coming up really is for you to make sure you're hydrated this week. Like we're going to the basic level, hydrate yourself. If you haven't been hydrated in yourself, if you're a bit dehydrated, you're not drinking good, pure water, this week you're being asked to do so, right? It's very interesting, like what we ingest, how that is connected to a spiritual property. So the first way for you to embody this message, this blessing from water, is to hydrate yourself. Bring it into your body. You can do that, right? So that's very powerful. So your invitation here, where can you send the power of love in your life today? So we know your body, right, is number 1. And then see where else this water wants to flow. Where can you send the power of love in your life today? So if you receive 2, so your element is fire, this would be, great to do a fire ceremony or light a candle while you're setting your intention or praying or just meditating with the candle. Play with that element of fire, right? You cannot eat fire, right? But when we're able to look at fire, there's a reason why fire is so mesmerizing. As you look into fire, fire can come into you. The elements can can get ignited within you and fuel you as well, right? And if you're working with spirit, right? Us above, so below. Connect to your team, connect to the divine, connect to your higher self. How can you connect to spirit? Go into nature, walk bare feet with intention and awareness and consciousness, right? Being conscious and aware of your guides and all the magnificent beings who are here to work with you. How can you work with spirit more this week? And you notice that we have, which elements are we missing? So we're missing earth and we're missing air. Right? And we're actually not missing earth because earth is the container for all these elements. That's at least the imagery that is given to me right now. Because you remember at the beginning, I started talking about Mother Earth, connecting to Mother Earth. Even the meditation allows you to dive in deep and receive from Mother Earth. So that is your basis, that is your foundation. I talked about how Mother Earth has the capability, has the ability to support us and nourish us, not just physically, but also spiritually. To really tune into that. That's something we should be doing all the time, right? That's why it didn't show up. But air, I love this, the teaching, the mystery is coming around why air didn't show up. It's because we're trying to, it's like the forces that is, they are trying to get us away from our mind and into our heart, right? Water is about the heart. Fire is a representation of spirit as well, right? So we're being taken away from the mind so we can dive in more into our bodies and our hearts and our connection to the higher aspect of ourselves, right? So it's really cool what came through. So taking a deep breath in here and out. Let your message for the week settle into your body. Let it anchor and root into your awareness, into your consciousness. We have the power of water, the power of fire, and the power of spirit at play here in the container of earth. To take it all in with your breath, with gratitude, thanking them for showing up to support you. So I'd love to hear from you which of these cards resonated with you and how did it resonate with you. And again, for those of you, you can share it in underneath the video, so in the comments, or you can come join my free Facebook group if you are on Facebook, Moon Goddess Sacred Sanctum. I'll make sure the link is below. Come join us there and then share it with us in there. It is a private group of amazing, amazing people, amazing light workers. So you can come in there and feel free to share your journey with us and also receive the amazingness that is in the group as well, right? So thank you again for receiving this week's Goddess Energy Forecast. Feel free to share this with anyone that you feel like this will support, anyone that you feel like needs to hear this message this week. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you click that button, subscribe, and that way you'll be able to receive receive notifications every time I post a new content on my channel. From my heart to yours, have a fabulous week, and until next time.